The grit grandeur of realism. Gustave Courbet's The Stonebreakers. The mid-19th century was a period of immense social, economic, and political change in Europe. Amidst the throes of industrial revolution and rising social consciousness, art began to reflect the harsh realities of life for working class. One of the most profound embodiments of this shift in artistic focus is Gustave Courbet's The Stonebreakers, painted in 1849. Was a turbulent time in France. The 1848 revolution had just concluded, leading to the establishment of the Second Republic. This period saw a rise in demands for social justice and workers' rights, echoing the suffering and strife of the lower classes. The older man, bent over his work, wears tattered clothes and represents the toll of a lifetime of hard labor. The younger figure, likely a boy, appears to be following in the elder's footsteps, symbolizing the critical nature of poverty. Courbet's technique in The Stonebreakers is crucial to its impact. He employs a palette of earthy tones, highlighting the dusty, oppressive environment. The rough textures of the canvas mirrors the roughness of the subject's lives. Courbet's brushwork is unembellished and direct, echoing the idealization common in earlier art environments. This rawness enhances the painting's emotional power, forcing viewers to confront the reality of the worker's existence. The composition is carefully structured to draw the figures. There is no distractions, no romanticized backdrops, only the man and their labor. The Stonebreakers is more than a snapshot of manual labor. It is a poignant social critique. By focusing on the mundane yet backbreaking task of stonebreaking, Courbet highlights the dehumanizing effects of industrial labor. The paint suggests a critique of social systems that perpetuate such as conditions, implicitly calling for empathy and social reform. Moreover, the anonymity of the figures underscores the universality of their plights. This anonymity serves to universalize their experience, making a powerful statement about the overlooked and undervalued members of society. Courbet's realism thus becomes a vehicle for social consciousness, challenging viewers to acknowledge and reflect on the conditions of the working class. Courbet's The Stonebreakers was revolutionary in its time and remains a significant work in the history of art. It challenged the norms of what was considered suitable subject matter for fine art, paved the way for future artists to explore themes of social realism. Unfortunately, the original painting was destroyed during World War II, but its legacy endures through the reproductions and the profound impact it has had on the art world. Courbet's focus on the ordinary workers inspired many subsequent artists and movements, including the Impressionists and later Social Realists. The Stonebreakers remains a touchstone for discussions about art's role in social commentary and representation of marginalized communities. Gustave Courbet's The Stonebreakers is a masterful example of realism that provides a powerful social commentary on the plight of the working class in the 19th century France. Through its raw deception of labor and its unflinching focus on the human condition, the painting transcends its time, continuing to resonate with contemporary audiences. As a document of its era and a piece of enduring artistic significance, The Stonebreakers invites us to reflect on the intersection of art, society, and social justice. Jean-Francois Millet's The Cleaners, 1857, is a quintessential work of the realist movement, capturing the arduous, often overlooked lives of rural laborers. This painting not only stands out for its artistic merit, but also for its powerful social commentary. Though his depiction of three peasant women gleaning in a Millet brings attention to the harsh realities of peasant life, challenging contemporary societal norms and evoking empathy for the working class. The Gleaners was created during a period of significant social and economic transformation in France. The mid-19th century was marked by the decline of the traditional agrarian lifestyles and the rise of industrialization. This shift resulted in a growing disparity between the wealthy landowners and the impoverished peasantry. Moyet, who hailed from a rural background himself, was deeply moved by the plight of the rural poor. His work often focused on scenes of peasant life, aiming to portray their dignity and resilience. Moyet's use of composition and technique in the Gleaners is masterful. The painting depicts three women bent over painstakingly gathering the remains of the harvest. Their postures are stooped and laborious, highlighting the backbreaking nature of their work. Moyet's choice to place the figures in the foreground draws immediate attention to their toil. In contrast, the background shows more prosperous elements of the harvest, neatly bound sheaves of wheat and distant figures, possibly representing the landowners or more privileged workers. The work palette is dominated by earthy tones, emphasizing the connection between the gleaners and the land they work. The soft, diffuse light bathes the scene in a golden hue, creating a sense of timelessness and serenity despite the harshness of the subject matter. Moyet's brushwork is meticulous yet gentle, lending a sense of realism that invites viewers to emphasize with the Gleaners' plight. The Gleaners was met with mixed reactions upon its exhibition at the Salon of 1857. While some critics praised its artistic execution, many were unsettled by its subject matter at a time when the upper echelons of society preferred art at the celebrated beauty and prosperity. Millet's focus on the impoverished was a scene of provocative. The painting was perceived by some as a critique of the existing social order, highlighting the stark inequalities that plague rural France. Millet's work challenged the romanticized view of rural life that was prevalent in the contemporary art. Instead of idyllic pastoral scenes, he presented the raw, unvarnished reality of peasant labor. By doing so, Millet aligned himself with the realist movement, which sought to portray everyday life without idealization. His depiction of gleaners, individuals who were allowed by traditional to collect leftover crops after the harvest, underscored their marginal existence and the meager subsistence they eked out from the land. The Gleaners has had a lasting impact on the art world and remains one of Millet's most celebrated works. Its influence extends beyond the realm of painting, contributing to broader cultural and social discourses. The painting has been interpreted as a symbol of resilience and the human spirit's capacity to endure hardship. It also serves as a historical document, offering insights into the lives of rural laborers in 19th century France. Moyet's empathetic portrayal of the peasantry inspired subsequent generations of artists and social reformers. His commitment to depicting the lives of ordinary people resonated with later movements, such as social realism, which also sought to address social issues through art. In contemporary times, the Gleaners continues to be a powerful reminder of the importance of dignity and respect for all individuals, regardless of their social standing. Jean-François Moyet's The Gleaners is a poignant and powerful work that transcends its time. Through its realistic portrayal of rural laborers, the painting challenges viewers to confront the harsh realities of poverty and inequality. Moyet's masterful use of composition, color, and light not only highlights the physical toil of the Gleaners, but also imbues them with a sense of dignity and humanity. As a seminal work of the realist movement, The Gleaners remains a timeless piece of art that continues to inspire empathy and social consciousness. On Roald Dameur's third-class carriage painting, Third Class Carriage, created between 1862 and 1864, offers a profound commentary on the socio-economic conditions of 19th century France. As a pioneer artist known for his keen social criticism and sharp observational skills, Demier's work in the Third Class Carriage encapsulates the essence of realism and humanism. Henri Demier, 1808 to 1879, was an influential French artist, renowned for his satirical caricatures and lithographs that critique the political and social issues of his time. The mid-19th century in France was marked by a rapid industrialization and urbanization, which brought about significant changes into lives of ordinary people. The advent of the railway system revolutionized transportation, making travel more accessible but also highlighting the stark of class divisions with society. Third Class Carriage belongs to a series of works that Demier created to depict the different classes of the railway passengers. Unlike the more luxurious first and second class carriages, the third class carriage was crowded and uncomfortable, primarily used by the working class. This painting thus serves a microcosm of the societal hierarchies and the harsh realities faced by the lower class during this period. The central theme of Third Class Carriage is the stark contrast between social classes and the human condition. Demier portrays a group of working class passengers in the cramped and dimly lit railway carriage. The figures, rendered with a high degree of realism, exude a sense of fatigue and resignation, reflecting the hardships of their daily lives. The painting captures a moment collective yet individual experience where each person is absorbed in their own thoughts, creating a poignant sense of isolation despite their physical proximity. The composition of the painting draws the viewer's attention to the central figures of a woman holding an infant, an elderly woman, and a young boy. These characters represent different stages of life, emphasizing the generational continuity of the poverty and struggle. The woman's nurturing posture, the elderly woman's wearing demeanor, and the boy's contemplative gaze encapsulate the universal themes of care, endurance, and hope amidst adversity. Demier's use of color and brushwork in the Third Class Carriage enhances the emotional impact of the scene. The muted color palette, dominated by the browns and grays, evokes a sense of somberness and austerity. The limited light source, presumably from a window out of frame, casts a soft glow on the figures, creating a chiaroscuro effect that adds depth and realism to the composition. The artist's brushwork is loose yet deliberate, capturing the textures of the passengers' worn-out clothes and rough wooden benches. This painterly approach, combined with the detailed depiction of the figures' expressions of body language, conveys raw, unfiltered glimpse into their lives. Demier's keen observation and empathetic portrayal of his subjects elevate the painting from mere social commentary to a timeless exploration of human dignity. Third Class Carriage is a seminal work in the history of art, notably for its unflinching portrayal of working class. It reflects Demier's commitment to realism and his ability to evoke empathy through art. This painting stands as a precursor to later social realist movements, influencing artists like Vincent van Gogh and the Ashcan School in the United States, who similarly sought to depict the lives of ordinary people with honesty and compassion. Moreover, Demier's work resonates with contemporary audiences as issues of social inequality and class divisions remain pertinent today. Third Class Carriages invites viewers to reflect on the shared humanity that transcends social boundaries, urging a deeper understanding of empathy for those less privileged. Henri Demier's Third Class Carriage is a masterful representation of the 19th century social realities, encapsulating themes of poverty, resilience, and human dignity. Through his skilled use of realism and expressive techniques, Demir not only documented the plight of the working class, but also imparted a timeless message of empathy and social awareness. This painting remains a powerful reminder of art's capacity to eliminate the human condition and inspire societal reflection and change.